Now, back to WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
It's time to celebrate the first champion of 2019. We are going to speak with Tii Tharpe, Mickey Thompson, Top Fuel Harley Davidson champion. And if you're a fan of the Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidsons, on WFO Radio Podcast, I really think we did a great job of covering these amazing machines. Now, is the typical Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidson fan also a podcast listener? That is debatable, but we're pushing it out there. We are keeping track of you guys, and hopefully you will share so you guys can get to know these people and personalities that are on these bikes. It is amazing, and we give you insight right into their personality. Big thanks to everybody over the course of the season. We've had Doug Fansel, we've had Tii Tharpe, we've had Ricky House has been on. It has been a fun season over the course of the year, but now it is all over, and Tii is just seconds away. But right now, I got to thank all these people who make this show possible, and hopefully, maybe you want to get involved with one of them, like samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Samtech. Become a machinist, right? You do not have to go to the cubicle and work there for the rest of your life. You can become a machinist and do really cool things. Blockhead CNC programs, Motorsport EFI. You can learn how to use a CNC. You can end up working for Boeing or in the aircraft industry. Who knows? Samtech.edu. Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com, hot sauces and spice rubs and everything that is great. Go to Rodax, pound of coffee roasted fresh per your order. Shows up in the mail. It's amazing. Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. It makes such a great gift for the holidays. Speaking of all you thrill seekers out there, you want a real thrill, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. Magic Dry US, the official organic absorbent of the National Hot Rod Association. It's lighter, it's all natural, it's organic, it works better. What more do you want? They support drag racing, magicdryus.com. Get one of those spill kits. And Total Seal piston rings. Whether it be a Top Fuel Harley or a Pro Stocker or a NASCAR stock car or an Indy car, Total Seal makes the rings. They can do it for anything. They make great tools as well. TotalSeal.com. Check them out. Total Seal, the leader in ring seal technology. All right. Joining us next on WFO Radio NHRA Nitro podcast, where we want to make sure you guys hear all the great stories, and the Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidson Championship story is one that you must hear. Joining us now, the back-to-back champion, your 2019 Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidson World Champion, Tii Tharpe, joins us on WFO. Tii, congratulations.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
2 years in a row. Well, you earned your way on. This has nothing to do with me. I mean, we're friends and all, but this is the championship interview, my man. You did it again. Congrats.
Yes, it's truly unbelievable. It's surreal. I think that's finally starting to set in. It was a much different year than the previous year. The year before, I was kind of underdog or chasing the whole time. We missed that race, and and I chased up until the final round. And this year the tables were turned. I had a target on my back the whole year, and and came into the final race with an advantage. And statistically that is favorable, but it sure didn't feel that way. It was it definitely little mental warfare there, especially with yourself, I guess.
Well, no, I want to hear about that. Now that you've won it, you can share all the weakness and stuff you had inside, right? Like, were you sweating it? Were you thinking, oh my gosh, you've got a successful business, you've got pressures on you that have nothing to do with racing? Was this occupying your mind? You got Doug Vansel coming on, trying to get vengeance for what you did to him last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it was eerie, not really eerie, but it was strange the way it was starting to play out, towards the end of the season, in Seattle, Doug started making up ground, and it seemed like everything that I did the previous year, he was starting to do. So, I'm superstitious, I'm a racer, and in the back of my mind, I was like, man, shoot, if it comes down to the final round again, which would be great, that's good for the fans, it's good for competition, but that was definitely in the back of my mind the whole time. And then, the rain came in and the whole show got mixed up a little bit. We're going to, find out on Sunday, and it spilled over into Monday. And then, the semifinals, it came down to the semifinals. That was really kind of like the final round or it could have been for the championship. and they called us to staging, and then they had a crash, and I pushed the show got mixed up a little bit, so we had to go back to the pits and wait for another hour or so, and so that was weighing heavy on my mind, and the schedule and airtime and all that stuff. It definitely compounded things, and it made for some life lessons and learned some mental toughness, I guess.
It's awesome to hear you lay it out there like that, because it has to be grueling and challenging to manage that. And that's what we like, is to hear how you manage that, because, okay, now's the time. No, it's not the time. No, go back to your pits. And you just want to get it over with. You want to go out there and find out the result, but it wasn't the time to find out the result just yet.
No, I mean, I guess that's the way it was supposed to be, and it certainly worked out. But, you get all zipped up and zipped in, and, the helmet's about to go on, and, you said your prayers, and you got in the zone, and, it might have worked out better, though, because for some reason, I was a little bit more at ease when we went back up for the semis, and it did work out. So, that's great. It worked out both ways. Randall was flying, and, and I did win in the semis, and Randall, he beat Doug in the semis. And so, at that point it was a much different mood. It was a really nice way to finish out the weekend, with a little less stress. And, it's when you got somebody like, Fanson Hines and Doug Mansell chasing you, it definitely weighs on your mind. There's no slouches in the class, period, but, that's a premier group.
Take me to that moment where, here it is, it's the semis or the second round, and Randall, who has had the best bike of the weekend, and really that motorcycle he's on has been coming on strong. It's been impressive to see, and also very good for the category to have more people other than you and Doug and Jay and Ricky who are like competitive. And so he's got to go up against Doug. You've got to go up against Ricky. But my memory escapes me as to who went down first. So were you on the starting line, or I think you were at the top end?
No, I was at the top end. Doug had run, I think Doug was low ET, so he got to choose, and, they went out last. And, the semis I left, and Sharky, I almost gave up too much on the tree. I didn't want to cut him any slack, but I didn't want to shoot myself in the foot. I might have been a little shallow too, but, Sharky, hit like a 35 in my 60 light. And then his short numbers were really good. And so I saw a whole lot of Ricky's pass. And, but I could tell I was making up ground. And, by 1,000 feet, I'd definitely gone around him. And so that moment I was like, well, that does it. And then, we're at the end of the track, and the whole scene's going on. And then here comes Randall in there and give me the nod. And so, that's when I knew it was a all Jay Turner final, and that the day couldn't get any better,
So technically, though, just to create the moment properly, you won the championship by winning the round and locked out Doug, and that was that. And that's got to be a great feeling to, go through the shutdown area, come around the corner. They've got all the championship stuff out, and to, realize that, the race is not over, but the championship battle is over. And now in back-to-back years, Ty, that's very impressive to be a champion 2 years in a row, regardless of what category or style of racing we're talking about. That sets you apart. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, it definitely is. And to get to race at Indy, for the second year in quite a few years since we've had such big names, the Elmer Tretts and the Terry Vances and the people that, have come before us, it's a real honor. And I do, it's quite an accomplishment. It's an accomplishment for the whole team, which, that they made it work this whole year. I can't tell you how many times Rex Harris saved me, from putting such a good tune-up in there that it compensated for some of my shortcomings. And then just to have really good sponsors and, everybody behind you between Sampson and Spevco, and then, then NHRA giving us a place to be, and Mickey Thompson having a class for us. It was great. And it was different. Last year was the final round, so it was, it all, the climax came, and it happened, and that was it. And then this year it definitely played out a little different, and so to get that in the semis, to win the championship, that, it was great for certain. But, and I won't say it took any wind out of my sail, but, it was not conflicting. I don't know. My vocabulary escapes me right now, but, it was a double-edged sword. It was really great to win the championship, and it didn't really take any fire out of my belly for the final, but, it pulled the pressure off, and, we absolutely duked it out, and we went for it. But, at that point, it was just two teammates and buddies, having a good old drag race, and that's what we did. And it worked out great. I'm so happy that Randall did win. His bike has been extremely fast for most of the year. And Randall's really, he's a great rider. And, every now and then you have a spill. And unfortunately, Randall had one not too long ago. And he's finally got his mojo back. He got out of his head, and it's been showing. He started picking it up in Seattle and really, really riding the bike good again. And, with full confidence. And, that's something that really works out of J Turner Racing, is having, all your teammates and riders are there and, in your corner and giving you the confidence to do this, because you definitely can't have your confidence shook and have any success here. So
that makes sense. Well, we had Bo Lane up in the broadcast booth over the course of the weekend, and, we mentioned having a spill. It's like, it's something that, I can imagine lingers in your mind for much longer than you want, as you're out there trying to be on the edge. And speaking of the edge, it makes perfect sense, Ty, that you might lose like a percent or two of competitive edge after you've won the championship, right? It makes perfect sense that would happen. But also in the final round, by the way, you left a couple of thou right with him, and he outran you a 10th on the racetrack. You weren't doing anything there.
Yeah, and really neither one of us had a stellar pass. I mean, he was like a 32 to a 42, which, it was hotter that day, but what we did was we just, we underestimated the track. It got a lot better between rounds, and that final pass, we definitely had hopped it up, but we didn't hop it up nearly enough, and it hurt both of our times. And but hey, it still was a ton of fun, and I would love to see a 19 to a 23 or something, but we just missed it a little bit. But we did what we were supposed to do, and we had our team in the final.
There you go. So what happens now? Like, looking back on the 2019 season, back-to-back championships. Mickey Thompson, Top Fuel, Harley Davidson. For my money, the way I'm looking at it is that it's now part of NHRA drag racing, right? We got the Mellow Yellow series, we got the Lucas Oil series, we got E3 Sparkplugs Pro Modified series, we got Mickey Thompson, Top Fuel, Harley Davidson series. Like, you guys are a part of certain races out there on the tour, and it's great. Like, fans are loving it. I'm loving it. I think it's great. The NHRA has done great to integrate these new cars and crafts, and are actually using this model in other areas as well. That having all been said, I think we need more racers, right? So what's the formula there? Are there people who are seeing what you're doing and realizing, like, man, this is a way to, get on TV, to be competing against the best, to really flex your muscles and test yourself in the NHRA? Do you think we got more bikes coming?
I think so. I think what we saw from 18, I think that attendance was down a little bit. And I think some of that was the fact that, there were some pretty stellar numbers. I mean, the bump spot last year in Indy was, I believe, a 33. And so, a lot of guys, 30's nothing to sneeze at, and if you can't run a 30, then you might not show up. And so that might have hurt some of our turnout, but I do know that there's a lot of people that are building bikes right now, a lot of former champions, and that'll be out there. So we're going to see some new faces and, some new muscle. And, I think the future's bright. And, the East Coast is a little more populated with Nitro Harley racers. But, we're very, very thankful that Bo and Doug and the guys from Canada and the West Coast, it takes a whole lot to commit to this full season, no matter which coast you're on. And so we don't know about the schedule next year, not for certain, or at least I don't. And so we'll see if maybe they can ease the burden for everybody a little bit. Who knows? Maybe they'll let us run into the countdown a little bit and spread the races out a little bit. A month where you go, 3 weekends and then have 6 or 7 weeks off is it's tough, especially in our class right now. Everybody does have a job and has to do that and keep up. And even if it was completely pro, we still have to have jobs. So not that it makes a huge difference. But
hey, what? You have to have a job?
It was certainly tough.
Ty, you're a champion, back-to-back champion, man. What do you mean? What is this job?
I don't know. I mean, I heard somebody said the other day that F11 was like on social media and said I endorsed it. And so I'm waiting on my check. I hope it's a big one. And,
I get your joke.
I race.
I get your joke. That's true.
Apparently, if you like their page, then you're fair game for endorsing stuff too. Which hey.
Oh, there's a whole story behind that.
Every day.
If you like their page, man, just get ready because they're going to be everywhere that you are. Those guys have got it down. Exactly. Ty, congratulations on winning the championship. You're a great ambassador for the class, and I say it all the time, but I mean it because I really had no knowledge of what was going on with these bikes, and you guys have all been very kind and welcoming, and the quality, the character of the people on the bikes, like Ricky House to do the Top Fuel Harley school. Like, we didn't have somebody who was like, hey, man, it should be you. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Like, just very willing and open, and that's what fans like, and that's what we like, and thank you very much. Congratulations on winning the championship. Great season. Next year, it's kind of far away, but it'll be here before we know it.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations, Ty.
Man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Ty. Tii Tharpe. Back-to-back. Mickey Thompson, Top Fuel Harley Davidson world champion. And great that Ty got out there and got the job done. Feel bad a little bit for Doug Vansel, who has been close 2 years in a row. Happy for Randall Andrus. Happy for Bo Lane. Great start to the show this week, as Alan Reinhart pointed out, Bo Lane in the broadcast booth, and had a lot of fun that Bo was up there. But in the end, Tii Tharpe, as you can tell, hopefully, is I don't want to say a gentle giant because he's not that big, but he's a really nice person. And that has been my experience with the Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidson guys. They have something in their character that makes them want to do this unbelievable extreme thing, riding a Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidson. But the way they carry themselves, just so cool and mellow. And, Ty is a very interesting character, and I'm happy for him. I want the category to grow. I want more bikes to show up. The competition we saw this year was fantastic. It's going to be interesting to see how it all works out. And if it continues to grow and more people get interested and realize that there is a great place to race in the NHRA for these Top Fuel Harley Davidsons. Congratulations to Tii Tharpe and his team and all of you folks that have been sharing the shows that have the Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidsons. In terms of numbers, right? We could be doing things that are just strictly focused on John Force Racing if we want to just get the biggest number of people, and that's not what we want to do. We want to introduce these amazing categories of drag racing, like when Austin Williams wins Stock Eliminator. We want to introduce that to the fan who is a casual fan and let them get to know what it's all about. And hopefully that's what we're accomplishing with this. And I really appreciate Ty for coming on the show. The archive is loaded. The Ignition show that started the week, just tremendous. And just like that, the Mopar Express Lane, NHRA Nationals, Reading, Pennsylvania, Maple Grove is upon us. And I've been teasing you about having watch parties. Like, have a watch party, but really, the whole sport of drag racing is about a couple of things, right? We love it. You're listening to NHRA Nitro on WFO Radio, right? You love it. You're not a channel flipper. You probably have gotten connected with the sport somehow, some way. Well, that's great. But we need to grow this thing. And every person who loves the sport, myself included, needs to become an ambassador for the sport. And you need to tell your friends, like, do you know about drag racing? It's really cool. The playoffs are starting. Playoffs are starting this weekend. NHRA fans, the playoffs are starting. Get into it. Pick a driver. Pick a favorite person. Follow them through the process, the highs, the lows, the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs. Follow them through the process. That's how you make fans. How many people have you heard of that went to a Super Bowl party that could care less about either one of the teams? And then, they get into it a little bit, and then they become a fan. That's a real story. And that's what we should all be doing as NHRA fans. And whether it be Top Fuel Harleys and Tii Tharpe, or Pro Stock Motorcycle and Matt Smith, or Erica Enders and Pro Stock, we got some very compelling personalities out there. Tommy Johnson, just one of the examples that we happen to have on this week. I wish you all great luck. I hope you all enjoy this weekend's action. I plan to be there. I know some of you know what I'm talking about. I plan to be there. And I know we got a lot of friends. There are certain tracks that we've got a lot of WFO radio listeners out. And, Dallas is one of them. We always got a ton of WFO listeners down there in Dallas. Big D, go hang with Marvin Rodak and all that stuff. Maple Grove is another one. And I missed out on you guys last year. So hopefully there's some sort of big parade planned for my arrival, right? To come in and we can hang and it's great. And we're going to enjoy some Yingling right from the factory, that kind of deal. Factory. And that having been said, big thanks to all the sponsors that make it all possible. Magic Dry and Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, Total Seal Piston Rings, Marvin Rodak and the Rodak's Coffee and Grills.com crew, Samtech.edu, Hanks the First Hussy. Doing a great job. Really appreciate everybody who steps up. And we're always reaching out for new marketing partners, people that are the right fit, that make a great product, that when I tell the audience, like, hey, I'm not pitching you, I'm recommending because it's something great, that it is true. Because that's the only thing we really talk about here on the show. Our sponsors are all things that we really, really believe in. Have a great week, everybody. Remember, the Ignition Show, big fun this week. If you did not hear that, go back and listen. It's evergreen, baby. It is time for the NHRA Countdown.
WFO! The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
I love WFO radio.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, engine builders, Total Seal Piston Rings are the leader in ring seal technology, and they go out of their way to help their customers and will make custom sets for any specific piston you might have. Customer service, top notch. Made in America? Absolutely. They're located in Phoenix, Arizona, and they've got everything it takes to develop the world's best piston rings. Give them a call at 800-874-2753 or go to TotalSeal.com. Your education. What are you going to do with your life? That is what it's all about. And Samtech.edu can help you figure it all out. The School of Automotive Machinists and Technology always says start your education at full speed because they will get you in, get you started, get you learning rapidly. The school is located in the Houston, Texas area. They've got a great campus. They're always expanding. But most importantly, their relationships within the performance industry is what sets them apart. We're talking about block programs, head programs, CNC programs, motorsport EFI tuning, all part of Samtech. They can even help persons that are eligible under the GI Bill. Go to the website, samtech.edu, or call 713-683-3817. Would you rather do something you love as your job? I know I would. Samtech.edu.
This is Jeff Rice, a.k.a. Deep and Hot. I just want to let you know that NHRA Nitro is probably the best coverage of NHRA drag racing, period. How can you not like a 3.5-hour broadcast with all the winners specifically for drag racing? WFO rules the airwaves.
This is WFO Radio.